Yo quiero estar en vivo contigo. Yo quiero estar.
Welcome back to Live with Jackie. We come here to inspire. Live with Jackie is your stage, you guys. I'm trying to bring, an industry insider every episode and information for all you inspiring artists. It's my turn to support my supporters. So we have a great show for you today. I wanted to, it's very Dominican up in here today. So two of my guests, both Dominicana. The first one is my friend, beautiful, 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 and talented singer, voice actress. You may know her as Shira on the animated show on Netflix. And she was also, get ready for this, the first Latina princess for Disney, boo. I don't know if you've heard of Elena de Avalor, of Avalor. That's her. So I say we call her because I got a lot of questions for her. Aimee, are you in the house? Aimee, are you in the house? Let me call you. Comment if you are. Aimee, is she in the house? She is not in the house, Aimee. You're my first guest. She is in the house. Yes, she said yes. Yes. Here we go. Hey.
Hi, friend.
I haven't showered.
That's okay. I showered for the first time in a long time. Good for you.
Oh my God, thank you. And you put a little lip color on?
I put a little lip color, a little Revlon. This is not a sponsored post.
Yeah, they gotta pay you for that.
I know, right?
Oh my God. So I was telling everybody, about Shira, about, our girl, our princess, our
Elena
princess. Yeah, I want to know, how did you get into voice acting? Coming as, an actress that is really interested in that. I want to know, how did you get into that?
Yeah. So actually, I spent a lot of time, probably like 6 years, auditioning for voiceover jobs, and I never booked one. Like, never even got a call back. And then one summer I was in DR with my family, so it's good luck. Yeah. And we were in, God, I'm trying to think where we were. We must have been in like Puerto Plata or something. I don't remember. And I got an email from my agent, my voiceover agent, saying like, hey, can you put this on tape? But he didn't say what it was. He just said it's like a super secret Disney project. Oh. And I was like, I'm on vacation. Like, I'm pretty sure I was like pretty drunk.
And you were in the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, I was on vacation.
That's great.
So I like didn't want to do it. And then so I was like, hey, I'm going to be out of town for the next few days. And he was like, no, I really think you should put this on tape. So I did, and then that's kind of how it started. But I think the reason
how old were you when that was? Because how long have you been doing that animation?
Oh God, I'm trying to think. This must have been like 2014.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in my 20s for sure.
Cause I was like, oh my God, the first princess is Dominican. I was so excited, and like I started following you on Twitter. I didn't know you yet. We just met like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Recently at a reading for Broadway. I don't know if we can talk about that, but anyways.
They didn't ask us back. No.
Yeah. They asked
us both home early.
Yeah, they asked us back, but sent us home early. I don't know
exactly. Yeah. I know, but I obviously have known you for a very long time because we've been blessed to have you as a representative for. When did you start?
2012.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like yesterday, but it definitely wasn't.
It really was, and I gave up acting in like 2007.
Oh my God, for real.
So like yeah. So Flaca was like. I was focusing more on music. And I miss acting, and that was like my first audition. But you know, everything that's meant for you is meant for you, just like, you know,
absolutely.
La princesa.
La princesa.
La princesa. So you're not just incredible, talented, you know, singer, actress, voice actress. You also did an incredible show on your IG channel, which I watched, which was called Impeachment 101.
Yeah.
You put together about politics and the election, and, you know, classes for the, you know, for people like me, you know, relatable. It wasn't boring. I felt like, you know, it was fun to watch.
Thank you.
Miss Aimee. I had questions. I wanted
Professor, teacher.
Professor.
No, what's funny is that, like, I grew up in Miami. I don't know if you knew that, because you're from New York. Did you ever live in Florida?
7 months.
Okay. Then that was enough.
I quit after 7 months.
Girl, I wish I could have. No. So I grew up in Miami, and my parents were always like pretty, you know, they watch the news and stuff, like pretty involved, more than most people. I just had I took a liking to it. I studied it at FIU, where I went to school. And so I came into it with just an interest. And so when all of this started happening, I thought to I think a lot of my friends knew that I had an interest, because if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I exclusively talk about politics, and it's really boring for a lot of people. But all of my friends were like, hey, could you explain this to me? What's going on? Because most people don't have the time or the energy to sit down and follow every single day what's going on in politics. It's exhausting, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And people are trying to build careers and families, and, you know, so I thought, you know, if the smartest people I know still don't have any clue what's going on, it's probably a lot of other people have questions too. So I started this Impeachment 101 class, and I try to make it fun, and I use
it is so fun, and you're so funny.
Thanks, girl. But, you know, it was really fun for me to do, and it's just a way to break down, like, what exactly is going on, because the way that they also, I mean, I guess I'm just going to drive right in and get political immediately.
Yeah.
But, like, the way they try to suppress our vote is by making things look really complicated when they're actually not.
Yeah.
And they bank on the fact that that most people don't have the time, don't have the energy, don't have the interest of figuring out this stuff. But really, it's not that hard if you have somebody explain it to you. And so as Latinos, like, or Latinx members of this country, like, we have to know that we're coming into it 4 steps back, you know?
I agree. And, you know, this is our life. This is our country, and we should be a part of it. And you explaining to us what the hell's going on, like, throughout the process was really, really incredible. I just wanted to, like, it really caught my eye.
Thanks, girl. And, it's on my highlights if anybody wants to catch.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So what we're talking about, Impeachment 101, please follow Aimee right now so you can see what we're talking about. But as a young Latina female, what are the issues that you're most concerned about?
I mean, we're talking about, I guess the umbrella issue is, like, racial inequality in this country, because unless we deal with that, then we're never going to get good health care. We're never going to get, you know, wage opportunities. We're never going to be on the same level and have the same, you know, like, be able to run the same race as our white brothers and sisters. So I would say just, like, racial equality, which starts with immigration, you know what I mean? It starts with not suppressing our vote for the citizen, like, for the eligible voters. So I came up with, like, a list of things.
Oh, honey, you want to read the list? You got notes too, girl?
I sure do. So in 2020, Latinx voters are going to make up the largest minority voting bloc. So that means that after white people, we are the biggest chunk of voters. So that means that we actually do have a lot of voting power. But the problem is that they're always trying to find ways to suppress our vote.
Like, it doesn't count. Like, it doesn't count. I've heard this, you know. Oh, why am I going to waste my time? Our vote doesn't count.
Right, which is not true, because actually Latinx voters make up 25% of eligible voters in Texas, which is a huge swing state. So Latinos actually do have the power of changing a huge state with a bunch of delegates like Texas.
Wow.
We have the power to change that. We make up over 14% of eligible voters in Colorado, Arizona, and Florida. plus more states, but those are the big swing states. So actually the people that will determine, the states that will determine the 2020 general election are swing states like Texas, like Arizona, like Florida, and we make up a big chunk of the voting electorate there. So that isn't true. It does make a difference, but they're going to make it super hard for you because it makes a difference. Like, you have to ask yourself, why are they working so hard to suppress my vote if it doesn't matter? And it's because it does matter. Yeah.
Yep. Of course it does.
Yeah.
Of
and
course.
So some
and
of the ways
that
they do that,
like we're not they don't want to give us the knowledge to understand it, and like you said, make it more complicated. So we're like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Who do I vote for? What's going on? And they just don't do it, you know?
Yeah, and on top of that, they actually make it physically hard for us to vote. So, like, for example, Election Tuesday is not a holiday, right? So people can't take off work. So if you work a 9-to-5 job, or you're an essential worker, you work at a restaurant, or you work, you know, as a janitor or a school teacher or a police officer, like, you cannot get the time off. You can't just call in and be like, I'm gonna go vote. So that already excludes a big part of the voting population, the working class.
I feel like they should allow you to go vote. That should be like required. Like, that should be required, that you cannot say no if you're gonna go vote and you have proof that, hey, I was here making the line and I'm voting. Like, that should be required.
Right. So the first way they make it hard is by making election day not a holiday and not available to people who have essential jobs and they can't afford to take the day off. The second way that they do that is by not providing enough voting locations, which is what happened just recently in one of the primaries in Wisconsin. They closed most of the voting locations. They only had 5 locations in an entire state. Or maybe it was the whole city. I'm not sure. But either way, 5 is just not enough. So people were waiting in line for hours and hours and hours. So even if you could take time off work, imagine not just taking an hour off work, you have to take off 3 to 5 to 8 hours off work in order to vote. And most people, like, let's say that you're able to get off work, but what if you have kids that go to school? Who's going to pick up your kids? Who's going to take care of your kids while you alone, or your partner, or you or your friends or whatever, are waiting in line to vote? So that's the second way that they make it hard for people of color specifically, but also working class people to vote. Another way, and it's a little bit
isn't that really interesting how they just don't want our vote, and they just keep staying up here, and we'll always stay down here because they always need a working class, and they never want to give us the equal opportunity. And that's why we can't, they make it so hard for us to freaking soar. And, you know, for people like you and I, like, we're in the front lines, and Hollywood isn't, you know, politics or whatever, but we definitely have a voice that's being heard. And I think that, like, we're getting the worst of it all. And I think that it's good that we're using our voice to open doors, to let people know that, yo, you are going to be the most important person in this whole country. Like, you should be making decisions with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially also, like, especially in this election, but the one after. So, like, if we look at age range of the electorate right now, so, you know, baby boomers make up the biggest chunk. They're 28%, millennials 27%, Generation X, which people like in their 40s and 50s, 25%. And 18 to 29 is only 9%, but that's going to go up. Just like Latinos are going to go up, Black representation is going to go up, because we are becoming more mixed as a country. So they're just doing everything in their power.
Oof, you gave me chills right here.
And it's just science. Listen to me. It's just math. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. People are marrying each other across, you know.
Well, that's what a Dominican is, right? We're mixed. We're the future. We've always been the future. And for me, I feel like Hollywood has always been afraid of the future, and maybe trying to keep us one look, one vibe, one thing, but we are multicultural, just being Dominican, and this is what we're all gonna look like. People are like, where are you from? I don't understand. Like, when I came to LA, they were like, is Dominican Republic in New York? You know, like,
no, if you go uptown, no.
But I have a question too. For the younger generation, who I want to know, like, what advice can you give to the younger generation? How can they get involved, and how can they make a difference?
Well, the first thing to do if you're over 18 is register to vote. I know that like technically I'm a millennial, so you and I are not young voters anymore. Like when I look at studies and charts, like young voters are considered 18 to 29, so you and I are not young voters. But if you're like over 18, the best thing you can do is register to vote. If you go on rockthevote.com, you can register to vote in like a couple of minutes. So that's the number one thing you can do. The second thing you can do is seek out people in your community that have an interest in politics. So like instead of you being like, oh my God, I have to do all this research on who to vote for, and I don't have time because I'm trying to like go to school or I have a full-time job. Find one person in your life who actually like enjoys talking about it, or somebody you respect, and just ask them what they think. Because chances are, if you find one person that is involved, they're going to lead you to other people, and then you can make friends in the community that can sort of just, you can just learn by osmosis. You know, they can tell you the stuff that they are interested in. And I think the third thing you can do is get involved in your local politics in your area, because that's the shit that's actually going to affect you today. So the people who are making your rules right now, the people who are in charge of your school district, or the people that are in charge of your, you know, municipal, those are the people that are affecting your day to day. Yeah, I mean, I guess just try to find support within your local community.
Aimee, is there any way, like, after this, you could put a post up and tag me, and I'll repost with, like, a little bit more info about what we talked about today and how the younger generation can help? Someone's from Black Fashion New York was like, Dominicans are black facts. And yes, we are.
Yeah.
So we are. We come from everything. And that's something that I've come to, like, be empowered by lately. And about just being proud of who I am, because growing up, it was really hard to always fit in because I wasn't enough of something. So now is the time to feel enough as you are. And you know, I've been posting a lot of, you know, bathing suit pictures, but the thing is, it's like,
girl, if I look like you, I would
comfortable.
Be too. Shit.
Girl, I've never felt so confident in my body, with my stretch marks, with my saggy boobs, you know, they're from my abuela, whatever.
I'll be lucky to look like you. But I hear what you're saying. And it actually, you know, it starts within our communities too, because I can tell you how many times I grew up, or I've grown up like with people saying like, oh yeah, I'm sort of Dominican, or I'm Puerto Rican, or I'm Cuban, but my family's from Spain. You know, even within our
every Dominican says that.
Yes. And even within our communities, like we run away from like the diversity and you know, honestly, like our indigenous backgrounds or our African roots, people even within our Latino community, we're running away from it. So the acceptance starts within our community.
Absolutely. And you know, being raised in the Dominican Republic, hola, ¿cómo están dominicanos? Soy de Santiago, me crié allá hasta los 15
Oye, de Santiago, I had no idea.
Santiago, mi amor.
Shit.
Yo me crié allá hasta los 15 años y déjame decirte algo, la cosa está muy, muy fea allá, like, muy racista, like, dentro de la familia, dentro del país, y está muy feo. Y viniendo aquí, you know, especially in New York, everything is so open, and everybody feels so comfortable, like, with who they are, that I've become more comfortable with who I am, thanks to New York. I love New York for life. I was born in Queens. And, but the thing is that, like, even me, like, representing my own curly hair, like, this is all, like, queratina, you know? Like, I get issues. I have issues within my own community, and I'm just like, yo, let me represent who I am and every little thing that I am. You
mean like people get on you for like for wearing your curly hair, and then when you don't wear it, people get on you like either way. Exactly. Like you're either not enough or too much.
Exactly. When I go to DR, me llaman la gringa.
La gringa. Oh my God.
I'm here, everybody feels this way. You too. You know, when you're from another country, and when you're here, like I told you, nobody knows, especially in LA. Now we're getting a Dominican community, but a lot of people didn't know what a Dominican looks like or what a Dominican is, and we all look different. We're literally a mixture of the world.
Yeah.
You know? And African is a big part of our roots, you know what I mean? And I feel like we need to represent that, you know.
For sure.
And we shouldn't like be, and you know what, the African community is so, like, I don't know, giving and open and like loving. Mm. And I feel like we need to maybe take a look at that community and kind of like be inspired by that community.
Yeah, and also raise up, you know, Afro-Latinas and Latinos who are in the business who don't get as many opportunities as lighter-skinned Latinos, you know, and that's just the truth.
Because you're not white enough, you're not mixed enough,
right.
You're not,
Yeah, so it's just like, that's something that within Hollywood, I mean, look, we have so many problems of representation within Hollywood, but if you want to look at, you know, the people that go to the movies, a huge majority of them are Latinx people, and we're super underrepresented, and on top of that underrepresentation, there's also a huge lack of like Afro-Latino, like Black Latinos represented at all. You know what I mean? Like we have Zoe Saldana, we have a few people who have made it to like.
Just watched Avatar last night.
Yeah, but they you know, they made her blue. Like,
I know, but and then she's green in another one.
Right.
So
exactly.
like our representation in the Marvel movies are blue and green.
I know, we have a lot of work.
But it's fine because
yeah.
it's good to talk about it. People are scared to talk about it because, oh, I'm not going to hire her because she's just going to complain all the time. And guess what? We're hiring ourselves because I'm betting on myself.
Totally. You know what I mean? And you are doing a lot of that work yourself too, and elevating a lot of people in the community, and it's really, really wonderful to watch.
Well, I love you, and that's why we're close. And we will work together because, you know, I always have crazy ideas, but I have this one that's incredible.
Oh, I can't wait.
But I'll call you later.
I got nothing but time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aimee. Do you want to? I want to know what you're doing and like what after this quarantine.
Yeah.
What are you gonna be up to?
So I like the dream of every actor. Thankfully, I booked a pilot this year. Yay! And then as soon as I did, we had this quarantine happen. But that's fine. So hopefully we're gonna get to shoot that pilot, and you know, and just trying to like.
What is it about?
Oh, so it's actually based on a show that is like really popular in Spain. That's called Pequeñas Coincidencias in the Spanish version, and it's about two people, like two singles who are like really busy and like, you know, have a huge career life and are really successful, but they just like can't get their dating life together, and so they start hallucinating their future children. So you know that they're going to end up together, but they don't meet in the pilot, and you don't know how they're going to meet.
Ooh, that's really cool. Is it
like
ABC?
Got
NBC?
Mail. What's that?
Is it ABC?
NBC. And it's a comedy.
That's awesome.
So
that's
I hope,
awesome.
yeah.
You know what? We need a front runner like you up in that NBC stage, and we're definitely. I feel like that sounds really interesting, and I hope that shit blows up.
Girl, me too. I hope that it.
And it's time. It's your time. Because remember, we always talk about it. We always audition for a lot of the same things. I'm like, girl, did you get it, girl? Yeah. She's like, no, girl, I didn't get it. But who do you think got it, though?
Yeah. We're both like, no, girl, we both didn't get it. Yeah, it's so true. I have some chisme for you, too, after this. But that's
good. So I'll call you later.
Okay, call me later. But can I just say one more thing, too?
Oh,
like,
of course.
we
can do this again, too.
Okay, great. But like to my, you know, young voters out there, I know how disappointed you are about Bernie Sanders. You know, 60% of Generation Z supported Bernie Sanders. And let me just tell you something. The odds are stacked against you. The numbers right now are stacked against you. You only make up 9% of the electorate. So just know that even if your turnout was perfect, which it wasn't, there's room for improvement. Even if your turnout was perfect, we still have a really long way to go. And there will come a time when you're going to be the biggest voting bloc. So practice voting now. I'm sorry you're disappointed, but there is hope for the future. You are our hope. So please, please don't get discouraged.
We're not discouraged, just a little confused. And I'm going to go back to your page. So, you know, while this...
I'll put this all on the page just so people can see it, because nobody's talking about how, you know, everyone's just like, oh, younger people don't vote, younger people don't vote. It's true that the turnout was low, but also, like, the numbers just don't add up. If you make 9%, if you only make up 9% of the electorate, like, how do you possibly think you're going to win? You know what I mean? So it's not just that the turnout was low, it's also that they make up a smaller chunk. So
also, can I ask you, can you put some information too of now that, you know, our people are gone, you know, who do you think that we should look into?
You mean for candidate? Well, right now, so Bernie dropped out. I think, oh my God, less than a week ago, but it just feels like, you know, time is just, who knows?
I know.
Like 4 years ago feels like yesterday. But yeah, so he dropped out. So the only candidate we have.
The only one, yeah.
What's that?
I said, yeah. The only one that really
is Biden, which
right.
he was not my first choice. He wasn't even my second choice. He wasn't even my third choice. But I am of the mind that Donald Trump has to be replaced, especially for Latinos. He's trying to get rid of DACA. He's putting kids in cages. He has a Muslim ban. Like,
only
it's
Biden.
no good, right? I understand a lot of people are like, well, if you know, if Bernie doesn't get the nomination, then I'm not voting, and that's your prerogative. I'm not here to change your mind. But I am saying that we cannot afford, as Latinos, we cannot afford 4 more years of Trump. We won't make it. We literally won't make it. So
and a lot of DACA students right now are like nurses and doctors and shit, and like helping with this pandemic. And
right.
Fuck, like,
so imagine if they don't, if they lose all of their protections, then it's literally over for. And I think there's, I don't know how many DACA recipients there are in the United States right now, but I have to assume it's if it's not in the hundreds of thousands, then maybe it's in the millions. But that's a lot of people who grew up in the United States who know
they're just like us, just like us.
Yes, they know no other country but this one, and they serve their country and they serve them proudly. So even if just that one issue, even if it's just that one issue for you, you know, the fact that people who are just like you are at risk of being sent back to a country they don't even know, that they've never been to, you know, but everybody has to vote with their conscience. But I will say that I'm going to put this all up there, but if it's one thing you take away from this, is that if you're a young voter, if you're a Generation Z voter and you're feeling really discouraged and you feel like your vote doesn't matter, it's not that. It's just right now you only make up a very small percent of the electorate, but that is going to change. And as we go forward, and the best thing we could do right now, in my opinion, is to rally together behind the candidate we have. If you don't feel like that's an option for you, then I'm not here to convince you otherwise, but I do think there's a lot at stake. And the first people on the chopping block for Trump are people of color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said so himself.
Well, again, I'm getting chills, and please listen to my girl Aimee and follow her to get more information.
I'm gonna put this all up today.
She's gonna put it all up today, and thank you. I love you.
I love you. Thank you for having me
later on. If
not
girl,
tomorrow,
I got some
cheese for you. Okay.
Un poquito, tú sabes.
Bye. I love you.
Te quiero. Bye, amor.
Bye.
But first, I'm gonna have my friend Jen.
Hola, mi amor, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, perdona que nosotros estábamos hablando de politics y se
No,
40 minutos.
No problem, no problem. Aquí estoy ahí que pusiste ahí a Pónteme. That's my first baby.
Yes, honey.
Shout out to Pónteme.
Está buena, está buena.
Gracias,
La
amor.
música está buena. Déjame presentarte. Okay, so this is my girl, Jen Moral, otra Dominican queen. I just played Pónteme right now, which is one of her big hits. She's a singer, songwriter, rapper, dancer. You know, you bursted on the scene, you know, dancing, right? Which you had like with this song. But before, you used to dance for Neo and like LMFAO and shit.
Yes.
How did this video change? How did your life change after making that video?
Oh my God. Well, I have to say that after my firstborn, Pónteme, my life changed 360. Well, 180.
Oh, yeah, 360 is the same.
Well, yeah. 180. Yeah, 180. Yeah, I started from New York City. I was born in Dominican Republic, came to New York when I was 6 years old.
I'm in DR.
In DR in Santiago.
I'm from Santiago. Yeah, I didn't know you were from Santiago.
Santiaguera, mi amor. Así es que tú sabes que hablamos por ahí.
Ya tú sabes. Bueno, pues que.
Yeah, so New York City, I mean, I started go-go dancing. I don't know if you guys remember like Pacha or Webster Hall.
Yeah.
Rebuild Webster Hall. So I was a go-go dancer, and then after that.
Do you know Karina Correa?
Karina, es una go-go dancer back in the days.
No, pero ella trabaja for Pacha.
Well, I did Pacha like probably like 6-7 years ago. So
yeah, it was around that time, but it's fine. Hablamos ahorita.
Yeah, hablamos. So I did go-go dancing. Then I started getting into like the modeling urban scene. I did that for a minute, and then I started doing music videos. And graduated from college, came out here to California, and I did so many.
So when did you move to California?
I moved to California in 2014.
2014. Oh, great. Yeah, so you've been here for a minute.
I've been here for 6 years.
That's great.
Yes, and it's been the best decision I've ever made.
Oh, good. You're gonna make all the Dominicans come over here.
¿Tú sabes qué? El combo dominicano que se presente, mi amor.
Sí, aquí como hay una comunidad dominicana, ya se está armando.
Yeah, shout out to Dominicans in Cali, si me están viendo.
Sí, no están viendo, yo lo sé.
Hey, Johnny.
But I want to know, how was your transition, like being a dancer and then being like the front man? You know what I mean? Like that's you. I'm the performer now. Boo.
Yeah, so I mean, it was interesting because while I was doing these music videos, I knew deep down inside of me I had a bigger calling. But I know God usually just puts you, not usually, always. God's always puts you in position to get ready to further and better your talent and to get good at it, to the point that he presented me with I wanted to rap. I was afraid. Yo tenía miedo, coming from a background, an urban background. I was like, I don't know how to do this. But in 3 years ago, I've only been making music for 3 years, and I told my brother and my team, I'm like, I want to be a rapper, and he's like, so let's do it.
Let's do it.
So then, so me and my team came up with what is called Flow Friday. I don't know if you visited my page. I have one of the highlights, Flow Friday. So I started in 2016. I started rapping in the car. I'm like, I'm just going to show. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm just going to show.
I've seen all those videos. Yeah, I love it. That's what I'm going to ask you to do that.
Yes. So I did that, and my 7th week in doing Flow Friday, my baby was born. Pónteme. At that time, it was just a Flow Friday number 7, and I put it out regular like a Flow Friday, and in a matter of an hour, 2 hours, it's just like spread like wildfire. I remember like World Star, World Latin Star, like all these big pages.
That's awesome.
I gained a lot of fans asking me, where can I find the song? And I'm like, well, it's just a minute flow that I did. I usually write all my flows.
Right.
And I'm like, and that's it. And in a week, I finished the song with my brother. We shot the video, and by the 8th week, we already released the record. And everything is, el resto es historia. It's a platinum.
And you just came out with a beautiful song recently, like No Quiero Novio.
No quiero novio para mis mujeres. ¿Quién está soltera aquí?
Bueno, aquí estamos solteras con pelo.
You're so funny.
Yo no me he afeitado ni me ha bañado.
No te ha bañado, mami.
Pero me puse un poco de perfume por si acaso si me pueden oler. ¿No?
¿Verdad que sí? And think about it, even now you're not going outside, so ain't nobody smelling you.
No.
It's definitely
Oh my God, pero espérate, tengo una pregunta, espérate.
Dale, mami.
¿Qué es lo que tú estabas haciendo during quarantine? Because it's really hard to get inspired as an artist, What have you been doing to keep busy?
So I have an in-house studio. So I usually just I'm always in the studio. I'm always working on music. I feel like as an artist, you got to stay creative because I will go crazy. There's a lot of amazing ideas that as an artist you want to execute. So, I'm mostly in the studio. And when I'm not in the studio, I'm either walling out in the house.
Yeah.
Or actually working out, because I feel like it's very important.
I saw one of your live workouts.
Yes.
That guy was really killing.
Yes, he's amazing. Shout out to Simon. Yes, I make sure to do it outside because I know, we got to make sure, of social distancing and stuff. But for me personally, this is for me. I feel like I can be at home, like trancada. So I have to find a way where it fits me, where I feel comfortable enough. And I know this trainer that we're going to train, good and for me to have my mental right.
Yeah. Yeah,
being in the house for such a long time, it can get you a little poquito loca.
We have to also do a song together. We always talk about it.
No, I've been waiting for you, mommy. I said, mommy, whenever you're ready.
Pero tú sabes, yo estoy lista. Mira, yo tengo un estudio aquí y no lo sé usar.
Pero you let me know. I get there with the engineer and the beat, baby, and we gonna make a fire song.
Vamos. Usted está aquí en Los Ángeles, right?
Yes,
Nos
I'm in
ponemos
LA.
la mascarita, la quitamos para
Una mascarita ya para que ellos vean. They want me to they said do it now. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do it.
No, for real.
Ahora que mami Jackie.
Que estamos en live. Bueno, te voy a decir algo.
Yeah.
Yo tengo una canción that is rapping, te la voy a enseñar un día cuando tú vengas, pero yo también tuve miedo because tú sabes, yo soy cantante, I'm not a rapper, pero fue un vibe, I was feeling this vibe, and someone kind of told me that I really couldn't do it, and I love it when people tell me I can't do shit.
You like, I'm really gonna do it. No me dice que no.
This shit is kind of fire, so I just wanted you to hear it, and you inspire me, like just being out there and just being yourself and not giving a fuck, you know what I mean? Like, we're seeing it out there, like, just people being themselves.
Yeah.
And it's great. Can you share some music with us? Can you do a little, look?
Of course I can. But to talk about your topic, what you said right now, one thing that I noticed in life, baby, everybody is going to have something to say about your music and your art, you know, so it takes off. And they're like, oh, yeah, I knew that girl. Oh, yeah, I remember that song. Oh, yeah, I know what she was promoting. Oh, my God, yes.
Pero nadie te ayuda when you're going up, right?
And it's okay because God has everything in place for you. And sometimes people's vision might not match yours, and it's completely fine.
You're right.
Do what you do,
and you know what? It's kind of funny because everybody's just like, she can't do it. And then fuck, all its perseverance, let me just let you know, it beats talent. And I'm not saying that both of us are very talented, but I'm saying that perseverance plus talent, babe,
consistency, baby, consistency. And that's what I did with Flow Friday. Every Friday, I'm about to hit 50 Flow Fridays.
Wow.
50 Flow Fridays. You know how many albums is that? That's probably like 10.
You should make all those Flow Fridays into an album.
I like that idea.
No, you really should.
I like that idea.
You just said you have 3 albums.
I like that
Listen,
idea.
I'm not trying to be Sway or anything. Sway is my best friend. But I want to see some bars.
Okay, cool. Listen, I'm about to put first of my new single so they can hear it. It's
I want to dance to it.
And I'm going to rap to it so you guys can see, you know, what la salsa que tenemos, papi.
Vamos a ver.
Let's play that. This is my single, No Quiero Novio, and I'm going to sing along and I'm going to rap along, baby. And if you want to dance, mommy, I'm watching you.
No quiero novio nuevo, prefiero salir a beber de noche de party, a mis amigas me la llevo. Sin compromiso me voy, ya no hay quien me pare. Yo no quiero novio nuevo, no. Yo prefiero beber de noche de party, a mis amigas me la llevo. Dice, dale mami, acelera como un Maserati. Fuerte y revela, ya no quiero papel. Camina en la playa, me puso la café. Ganando como seca, los capitales. Everybody like it, la cabeza, la mamá y a mi vida. Ya no quiero más palomos, quítate el sonabo de en casa, nadie me espera. Como arena grande, ya ando soltera. Yeah. Ahora me va a conocer. That's my rose, anytime I'm Mariah on the song.
Oh, yo, Mariah's fly, yo.
Dice, yo no quiero novio nuevo. Prefiero salir a beber de noche de party, a mis amigas me la llevo. Dice, sin compromiso me voy, ya no hay quien me pare. Yo no quiero novio nuevo, no. Yo prefiero beber de noche de party, a mis amigas me la llevo. Sin compromiso me voy, ya no hay quien me pare. No.
Hey!
That's
amazing.
¿Sabes qué lo que, mami? Aquí representando a la comunidad latina, representando a todas mis latinas que estamos arriba, girl power. And when one thing I say, I'm all about girl encourage my girls to work together. Yo no soy de la boca para afuera, so we gotta work, mommy, me and you.
Pero, mujer, that's what I'm about.
Yes.
So I'm so excited, yo. We're gonna come out with some fire after this quarantine.
You know what it is? Quarantine.
We're gonna have a few rap albums from Jen.
Yes.
And we're gonna have a collaboration. And te quiero dar un beso grande, and thank you for showing us. And I love your vibe, girl.
Thank you, baby. I
we're gonna make
appreciate
some
you.
dope shit. Like,
listen,
I could see us.
and
like,
congratulations to you on everything you've done. You haven't. Listen, I feel like for us to see una Latina, Dominicana, somebody who represents us on TV is beautiful, baby. So shout out to you, baby, for killing it on TV. Baby.
Same to you.
Now doing music. Así que dale para allá.
Sí. Pero lo que pasa, tú no sabías que yo estaba haciendo música antes que yo, I quit acting.
Yes.
Y entonces, because I was in LA, yo me mudé aquí when I was 15.
Yes.
And again, being a Dominican, no one knew, like, what the hell, she don't look Mexican. So I was getting tired.
She's like, what is that?
Yeah.
Dominican.
Yeah. So I
We
quit.
have every shade, color, and everything, baby.
Thank you. We could curl it. We could straighten it.
We can do all of that. Yes. But it's beautiful. You say you quit. Look where you at. Beautiful.
Pero también, my acting me abrió la puerta for my singing, which is my first love. But I just want to tell everybody out there that's listening who's an artist, don't ever say you could only do one thing. Yo, really dream everything you ever wanted to do. Like, for real. Like, if God put that desire in your heart, and you really, really, really want it, you'll get it.
Yes, baby. Listen, I am a firm believer in God, and I'm a firm believer in self-talent and self-understanding and never giving up.
Can I ask, can you stay on the line? Because we're going to have some singers. We would love to hear your advice.
I'm here, baby. Un besito, te quiero mucho.
Te quiero mucho.
Sigue dando palo, mami. Aquí estoy, tú me llamas para hacer esa canción que le damos durísimo.
No, perfecto, estoy lista.
Dale,
Necesito un training.
I got you, baby, I got you. I'm gonna be on the live, baby, if anything.
Oh, perfecto. Okay,
Chao,
bye.
chao. Dale, mi amor.
Connecting. Hopefully the
¿Qué
service.
qué?
Yay, ¿qué lo que?
Pasa, Jackie?
You ready?
I am very ready.
Oh, I know. You're calling from España, ¿verdad?
Bueno, Cataluña, Barcelona.
Oh, Barcelona.
Barcelona.
¿Qué vas a
Dale,
cantar
duro.
hoy?
Vamos a cantar Calle 13, tú sabes, ¿no? Mi pana.
Me fascina Calle 13, deja ver.
Pero yo voy a hacer vuestro acento, ¿sabes? Latino, ¿sabes?
No, es heavy, me fascina.
Muerte en Hawái.
Ok. Ah, me fascina esa canción. That's my favorite song.
¿Sí? ¡Hostia puta!
What the hell? Tú
Deja
siempre
ver.
cantas mi canción favorita. Ok.
La Flaca, Muerte en Hawái. Yo he peleado con cocodrilos, me he balanceado sobre un hilo, cargando más de 500 kilos. Le he dado la vuelta al mundo en menos de un segundo. He cruzado 100 laberintos y nunca me confundo. Entro fuera del agua como las focas, soy a prueba de fuego, agarro galas con la boca. Mi creatividad vuela como los aviones, puedo construir un cerebro sin leer las instrucciones. Hablo de los idiomas de todo el abecedario, tengo más vocabulario que cualquier diccionario. Tengo vista de águila, olfato de perro, caminar descalzo sobre clavos de hierro. Soy inmune a la muerte, no necesito bendiciones porque siempre tengo buena suerte. Ven conmigo a dar un paseo por el parque, que tengo más cuento que contarte que García Márquez. Por ti, todo lo que hago lo hago por ti. Y es que tú me sacas lo mejor de mí. Soy todo lo que soy, porque tú eres todo lo que quiero. Por ti, todo lo que hago lo hago por ti. Y es que tú me sacas lo mejor de mí. Soy todo lo que soy, porque tú eres todo lo que quiero. Ahora empieza la improvisación, dale Jackie, tú sabes, mi pana.
No me sé la segunda parte.
De Barcelona a Estados Unidos, pasa por dominicanos, ole, residente, visitante y el ministro, ole.
¿Cómo es? Por ti, todo lo que hago. ¿Cómo es? Yo nada más me sé el coro.
Ole, ole, dale duro, tú sabes, mi pana.
Por ti, todo lo que hago lo hago por ti. Ay, coño, no sé todo lo que soy. Tú eres todo lo que quiero.
Bien, ya está.
Esa estaba buenísima. Gracias por siempre estar lista para cantar y enseñar tu talento. Este es siempre tu escenario. Tú me dejas saber cuando quieras cantar y siempre te llamaré. ¿Ok? Muchas gracias. ¿Y cómo te fue?
Hey, muchas gracias por el vídeo,
¿Tu aniversario cómo te fue?
No, aún no ha sido, pero cállate porque tal vez está. No sé si está, pero si está, mierda, no.
Ok, bye.
Pero muchas gracias, por el favor.
Sí, claro. Hablamos ahorita entonces.
Venga, apreciado.
Chao, mi amor. Gracias. Hello. Oh my God. Hi.
Hi.
You say that you sing and play the piano?
Yes, but
piano is a little bit hard.
Oh, that's okay. You want to just sing a cappella for us? What's your name?
I'm Ina, but I'm with my grandma now.
You with your grandma now?
Yeah.
She doesn't want you to sing?
No. It's really bad.
That's fine. I'll call you another day. You know, come back on Friday and I'll call you back. And you prepare yourself for Friday and we'll hear you perform, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
I don't think so. Connecting. I don't think. Girl, don't worry. I haven't showered, okay? It's been maybe 2 days. Me toca today. I'll shower later.
I'm over here working with my cobija.
That's fine. Where are you? Is it cold over there?
No, well, you know what? I'm in Arizona, and
I'm in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm from Hialeah though, from Hialeah.
Oh, my sister used to live in Hialeah. Yeah, my sister's from Miami. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I still have my sister's still out there, and I miss her like crazy.
Cool. And what's your name?
My name is Melanie. Oh my God, I'm hella nervous.
Please don't be nervous. Girl, don't be nervous. We're on IG. It's no big deal. I want to hear you sing, though. You were like, I want to sing, and you say SAANG. I bet you have some dope-ass vocals. People who are shy have dope vocals.
I haven't sang in a long time, but I love it. So here we go. I'll try my best. Oh my God, I'm shaking.
Don't shake. This is perfect.
All right. Excuse me. Si una vez dije que te amaba, hoy me arrepiento. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no sé lo que pensé estaba loca. Si una vez dije que te amaba y que por ti la vida. Si una vez dije que te amaba, no me vuelvo a seguir. Ese error es justo de ayer.
Girl, you getting hearts, you getting que hermoso, like what? And you know what? Tomorrow is Selena's birthday.
Girl, I love her.
Girl.
And you know what I'm Selena in the shower.
You know, and that was beautiful, Mama.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of hard to like just sing because it's very vulnerable and you feel like people are judging you, but literally all you've gotten is fire signs, heart signs, you know, and you made everybody feel good. So that's what this is about. And thank you so much for sharing your talent, and hi.
Thank you so much for having me on. And I love you. I love everything that you represent. And I love hearing you. I miss my Dominican friends. I'm from Colombia. And
yes, I love Colombia.
Oh, thank you. But I miss you guys. And I love hearing you talk because I miss you guys. There are many Dominicans over here in Arizona.
No, but I was just recently in Arizona and I fell in love. I felt like I was in Flintstones for some reason. We were just driving to Mexico, and then we were like, not a good idea to drive to Mexico right now. But we stopped in between. But it was beautiful. It was like some hidden parts where like I never even knew about it. Like,
yeah. Well, you know what? It gets so hot out here, and then 2 hours north, 3 hours north, you have snow.
Like it was snowing in like 2 weeks ago at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, amazing.
I got caught in that thunderstorm.
Did you?
Yeah.
Call me.
Well, now I have a friend. Well, thank you so much for
thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Love you too, girl. I've been getting some comments on my videos, you know, that I'm showing my body a little too much. I'm just really comfortable with my body, and it's been more than 30 years that I've been uncomfortable with my body. So I feel good right now, and this is my moment. So and I feel like the moment that you feel comfortable in your own skin and you're yourself, that's when everything is gonna happen for you. So look, that's my TED Talk is over. I'm doing it to objectify myself. I'm doing it because I feel good while I'm wearing it. And hello, I heard somebody here wants to rap.
Yeah, but I have to turn the light. My English is not so good.
Oh, ¿hablas español?
Sí, hablo español.
Ah, pues hablemos español, mami. Aquí somos bilingüe.
Bueno, voy a prender la luz.
¡Qué linda! ¿Cómo te llamas?
Stephanie.
¿Stephanie?
Sí, hola.
Hola, ¿y de hace cuánto estás rapping?
Ya creo que son 10 años.
Oh, really?
Sí.
Yo estoy loca para escucharte. No esté nerviosa. Esta es tu plataforma. Quiero que escucharte.
Voy a poner una base para...
Sí, claro.
Estoy súper nerviosa.
No te pongas nerviosa porque yo entiendo. No es fácil enseñar tu vulnerability, pero aquí estamos. Contigo, aquí estamos. Y todo el mundo que está viendo, everybody that's watching is super nice. Everybody's here to support each other. We're not here trying to go against each other. Este es el momento que uno tiene que estar con su comunidad y ayudarnos, no ponernos más para abajo. Así que aquí estamos empoderándonos.
No pensaba que me ibas a llamar.
Hey, mira, cualquiera que me dice que quiere cantar, te voy a llamar. Así que pónganse la pila.
Voy a poner
No te preocupes. Entonces, ¿dónde estás llamando?
De Suecia. Yo vivo en Suecia.
¿Really?
Sí.
Sweden. ¿Pero de dónde eres?
Yo de Colombia.
Ah, otra colombiana.
Sí.
¿Pero qué tú estás haciendo en Sweden?
Yo ya vivo aquí casi como 16 años. Me vine cuando tenía 14 años con toda mi familia.
¿Y habla otro lenguaje, entonces?
Sí, hablo sueco. Sí, les voy a cantar un poquito en sueco.
¡Ay, esto está heavy! Trey, please record this now. Whoever is there, somebody record this happening live. Thank you.
Sucre. Mujer. Vi tjejer, vi behöver ingen jävla klättkod. Även om vi har nått från tå till topp. Det betyder inte att vi behöver en snopp. Fatta det, respektera min kvinnokropp. Vi tjejer, vi behöver ingen jävla klättkod. Även om vi har nått från tå till topp. Det betyder inte att vi behöver en snopp. Fatta det, respektera min kvinnokropp. Vi tjejer, vi behöver ingen jävla snopp. För att kunna besegra och stå på topp. Jävla shunon som tror de är allt. Man kan dessutom hitta sig en överallt. Ingen kan bestämma vad jag vill. Det är bara jag som styr mitt liv. Vågar inte röra det här. Min heliga dyra motiverade sagt. Hata mina ord, men vi är en nation. Med kreation, vi är här med en vision. Titta på mig, vad vill du att vi ska göra? Öppna mig, för din fattiga smara. Vi säger vi behöver ingen jävla klättkod. Även om vi har nått från tå till topp. Det betyder inte att vi behöver en snopp. Fatta det, respektera min kvinnokropp. Les voy a cantar algo en español ahora.
Oh, sí. Oh, my God, that was amazing. Ahora en español.
Joder, mírame, cuéntame qué vamos a hacer. El mundo gira y gira, no podemos decaer. Nos movemos solo como piezas de ajedrez. Nos engañan desde la niñez con rapidez, pero solo deseo con fuerzas esta vez abrir los ojos al final. Ver con lucidez, respirar hondo y luego contar hasta 10. Este sistema no seguiré con rigidez, pero entonces me mantengo muda. El sistema me encuentra y me desnuda. Pone multas por todo y me descuida. Al final soy yo la pelotuda. Pelotuda. Okay. Ahí se acabó.
¿Tú me hiciste llorar?
De verdad.
Coño, ¿tú escribiste eso?
Sí. Me gusta escribir rap que tenga conciencia, pero me parece que es súper difícil como para la gente llegar con estos temas, porque hoy en día como que todo está en moda, lo que es las drogas, el sexismo y todas estas cosas, y realmente no se puede llegar con temas como estos a las personas. Entonces es bastante fuerte para mí, y yo tengo mi página artística que se llama Sucre Music. La voy a escribir por aquí
Sí,
abajo.
por favor. Oh my God, me fascinó. Tú ves, me inspiraste.
Ay, gracias.
Muchas
Realmente
gracias.
quiero hacer, pero realmente me parece que es algo tan difícil para llegar a la gente, por lo menos en Instagram. Yo quiero como dar a conocer mi música, pero es difícil. Siento que como que si tú no te haces parte del sexismo y de esto de escribir sobre drogas, es como que la gente no está muy interesado en escuchar las cosas. Y es un poco triste, la verdad, pero pues así es el mundo en el que vivimos, ¿no?
Sí, yo te entiendo 100% porque estoy en ese mundo ahora y también la gente se siente que ahora mismo yo estaba hablando que me siento muy cómoda con mi cuerpo
Con tu cuerpo,
y,
exacto.
ajá, y la gente cree que yo estoy usando eso de una manera para atención, pero sinceramente es que me siento bien y tengo muchos años no sintiéndome bien y no estoy usando mi cuerpo para objectify me para los hombres. Yo lo estoy haciendo para mí y para la gente que me está mirando a mí, para que se sientan que ellos también lo pueden hacer. Como yo estoy haciendo mi actuación, mi canto. Y mira, tú me inspiraste. ¿Ves?
Ay,
Yo también
muchísimas
tengo
gracias.
un rap ahí que estoy haciendo, pero no lo voy a hacer ahora porque ya tú me
Ah,
pasaste.
pero lo estoy esperando entonces.
Sí, tú estás muy buena. ¿Me puedes mandar un DM?
Claro,
Porque
con
me
mucho
dio como
gusto.
una idea y me diste una idea.
Ah, vale, eso me gusta.
Sí, por favor,
Muchísimas
me
gracias.
fascinó tus palabras y de qué estás hablando y yo sí pienso que todavía tú debes de ser igualmente lo que tú estás haciendo ahora. No dejes de hablar de lo que quieres hablar y no importa de lo que está haciendo la gente porque un día tú vas a llegar donde quieres porque tú estás diciendo algo importante. Y la gente
Ay,
que
muchas
está
gracias.
rapeando por droga y eso es solo por un minuto, se quedan ahí. Pero la gente que tiene algo que decir se queda por siempre. Así solo te quería decir eso.
Muchas gracias, realmente me ayudas muchísimo porque yo creo que uno cuando está entrando en este mundo es como que te llega como la duda de si lo estás haciendo bien o no. Y es como que esa duda y más la crítica, tú sabes, cuando uno está aquí es como difícil no tener críticas y hay unas críticas que son bonitas, constructivas, pero hay otras críticas que no van. Y realmente si tú no tienes muy buena autoestima, pues también esto no va a ser tan bueno para ti.
Sí, pero acuérdate que como dice Jen aquí me está diciendo, ella también, she's a rapper, si no la viste, chequéala, Jen Morel, ella dijo que no le ponga mente a la gente, porque la gente, ellos le tienen miedo, la gente que te critica tiene miedo porque ellos no lo pueden hacer. Okay, so I'm saying that the people who criticize you are afraid because they can't do it. So never let someone tell you that you can't do it. Even if you're not the best, you will be the best because that's what you want to do. So you're going to continue to work on your craft. Tú vas a continuar a trabajar con tu talento y aunque tú no seas la mejor en este momento, ponte 10 años, mi amor, ponle 10, 15 años
La
y tú vas a estar ahí
práctica es el
arriba.
maestro. La práctica hacia el maestro.
Exactly.
Muchísimas
Bueno, un beso grande, mi amor, y pon toda tu información aquí abajo y me mandas un DM, ¿ok? Un beso grande to Sweden, de Los Ángeles a Sweden. What an amazing show. This show is going to be called Cry with Jackie Live, but this is my tattoo that my little sister wrote, your letter, it's okay to cry. I'm always crying. It's a freaking problem. And I am too emotional, but fuck it. That's who I am. And that's maybe what makes me a good actress, I guess. I know how to tune into my emotions. But anyways, that's our show, you guys. So let me put it. I wish I had someone working for me. Because I don't know how to do the technical part of this. Okay, I just gotta put in my song so I can end the show. Jen, thank you. I just want to thank my guests, my Dominican guests that came through, Aimee and Jen. Please follow them. They're incredible artists and power players. So thank you for joining Live with Jack. My dream. Yo quiero estar amigo contigo. Yo quiero estar amigo contigo. Yo quiero estar. Yo quiero estar amigo contigo. Yo quiero estar. Yo quiero estar amigo contigo. Yo quiero estar. Come back. Come back Friday, 11/11. This song is available on iTunes. It's available in my album Hija de Chavez on all digital platforms. It's just called Jacquelincita, and that's what everyone called me because I'm Little Jackie. Bye. Thank you for joining us.